Go ahead and take your seats. We'll get started. Thanks. Okay, thanks everybody for coming. Welcome to the March meeting of North Fulton Amateur Radio League. Welcome everybody. Hello. Hey! Usual logistics, please silence your phones, communication devices, and so forth so we don't interrupt our world-class speakers. They're coming up later, they're not up here now. The exits are through the front doors where you probably came in and through the kitchen. You can get water along the hallway where you just came in, along with the restrooms. Coffee and fire extinguishers in the kitchen. Watch out for Steve's and Ian's cords on the floor. Try to use bright colors so you won't trip on them. And after the meeting, we got to store the chairs and tables, and I did bring the picture of how it goes we need to put in there. We got to be careful about how we stack the chairs. Got to be exactly right, or it falls on the ladies here, the young ladies, and people get hurt. So let's not do that. So we really could use help getting everything cleaned up after the meeting. Thanks. So that is the image that I'll put inside the room there to help us stack those chairs properly, kind of an interleaving thing. So please leave one of those on. That's good. Actually, the other way around, probably. Yeah. All right, there you go. Please wear your name badges or logo shirt, sort of like these. We'll talk about apparel in a minute here. But welcome to any new members, first timers. Hopefully as you came through you got a green dot, maybe not, we might not have the green dots back there soon enough. But any new first time visitors or new people here tonight? Oh my goodness. Oh, we're going to go through and do a roll call, and as we do, please identify where you're from and whether you're licensed or your call sign and where you came from. We'd appreciate that, and announce that you're first time or a visitor. So let's do the roll call. We'll start with you, Tim.
Jim Stevens, KJ4, QBT.
Steve, Whiskey Bravo 4, Charlie Victor Bravo, membership chairman.
Lori, K4 UPI, Roswell.
Jim, W4QO, Roswell.
This is KS4KJ Mobile. Not mobile. Mike, W5JR, Alpharetta, but Cherokee County.
Bill, K4YJJ, Sandy Springs.
John, N4TOL, Roswell, Cobb County.
Lee, N4WYE. Reed, W2CQH, Buford.
Reed. Raymond, KK4 OFD, Marietta.
Neil, N4FN. Don, SUBGU.
Larry, AA4QO.
Wade, KE4WYU.
Doc, W1DOC.
K4 Wilson.
Bill, K4YJI.
Gary, AK4NA.
Fred, KK4, ZKA.
John, W84NSC, first time. That's true.
All right.
From Canton.
Audrey, K4BUN, Forsyth County. Jan, K4PRM from Cumming. Jack, K4ZA from Cumming, Georgia.
Tom, W4SDR, and I haven't used ham radio in 2 days.
All right, that's the McElroy family. Thank you for coming, guys.
Dennis, K4PU. I came from Marietta, but my shack is in my cabin up in Jasper.
And welcome. Thanks for coming today.
Mike, 84MC, Sandy Springs.
Fred, KK4, JYO, Roswell.
Steven, KW4HQ, Alpharetta.
Mark, KM4MZ, Marietta.
Ryan, KN4FYZ, Sandy Springs, and first time.
All right.
Don, KK4E, Buckhead.
David, N0DJD, Marietta. First time. First time.
Welcome.
New ham also, a month, almost.
Have you, and your call sign? You just told your call sign.
N0DJD.
Very good.
It's my initials.
All right.
Mike, KN4OAK, Johns Creek. Terry, W4YVV, Roswell.
Scott, WA2XB, Peachtree Corners. Michael, N4ABI, Marietta.
Larry, K90Q, Cumming.
Adam, N4NAS, Roswell, and I just came with my brother last night.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Colby, KN4KSD, Alpharetta.
Diane, KN4KSD, Alpharetta.
Mark, W04MW, Sandy Springs.
Warren, KD4Z, Hickory Flat.
Right.
Not Grant, you?
Grant, KK4 PCR, Sandy Spring.
Ian, November Victor 4 Charlie, Roswell.
Tim, WK4U in Roswell.
Shane, KF4TJY, Marietta.
Jim, W4IU, Roswell.
Neil, NU4D, Midtown.
Eddie, A4TQ, Marietta.
John, KC4, JVJ.
David, Johns Creek.
Mark, KM4OYN, Roswell.
Bob, K4BB, Georgia.
Lowercase.
4AUN, Hickory Flat. Hickory Flat.
Rodney?
Yeah, okay, I'm Fred, N4CLA. I'm the treasurer and I am from Roswell.
Thank you, Fred.
Tony, K4AWF, Alpharetta.
Martha, W4MSA, I'm the secretary. I am from Stone Mountain.
RJ, WF4W, Roswell.
Roger, K4RNM, Alpharetta.
Steve, AB4TT, Roswell.
Matt, AG8TRS, South Forsyth County.
Richard, KD4SED, the great city of Woodstock.
Very good. Tony, we get you right there?
Yep.
All right. Did we miss anybody? All right. Welcome to all the first timers. I'm Daryl, K4RGK, president. Next slide, please. All right. Membership update. Steve, our membership chair, if he will please update us on membership. Get ready.
Okay, we're at 275, the same we were last month. I passed out the things on this. If you, please look at it and find out if your membership is expiring and renew it. Okay, remember you can renew it for more than 1 year, okay? In the quantity thing on the mart, just put 2 or 3 and then you're all set with it, okay? Until I tell you about like 2 or 3 years down the road. Okay, the other thing is, on the website, there are if you go to members, the last thing that you can select on the members sub menu is the memberships that are expiring within 60 days, okay? You should be getting email that tells you it's expiring, but if you want to go out there and look too, and you don't know exactly remember what day it was or anything, look out there, that'll give you the 60 days and now. Be sure and go and do it. Last month we had a member and he swore up and down to me, he's not here tonight and I won't mention his name, but he swore up and down to me he was a member. And while we were sitting with the program last month, he went out there and found out his name wasn't out there. So he renewed for 2 years right while we were here. So that you can do it with your smartphones and everything like that. But we're on a quest to not only keep our members, but start doing some things and getting some programs going and stuff to recruit additional members and stuff too on that. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, Jim, we'll talk to us for just a minute about a couple of things.
Okay, this Saturday is the annual Atlanta Science Expo. It's at Piedmont Park. If you're going down, if you can, we need helpers. If you're going down, You might consider MARTA. There's a MARTA station real close by. Parking is a weird bunch down there, you know, it's off campus and all that. Anyway, we need helpers. We've paid, I think it's $800 for this booth, okay? And we don't have enough people right now. Now we've set up back there, I have a couple demos, I've attracted a lot of attention. A lot of people were excited and all that, but very few signed up. Now, there's several jobs that we do, I guess demos we do, shake hands, hand out things. We have one person who's going to be doing FT8 with a balloon antenna, you know, aerial supported by a helium balloon. And that'll attract a lot of attention. We get a lot of people that want to know, what do I do next? We have a new program called So I Want to Be, relatively new, last fall, called So I Want to Be a Ham. So you want to be a ham. It's that 4-step process, involves a mentor from the club. I know we won't have any trouble getting mentors if we get somebody to sign up. Our biggest problem in the past has been people say, well, what do I do next? Where's the class? La, 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 la. Well, you know, we don't do the ham crams very often. We do actively encourage people to attend classes being done by Jack Fisher and up in Sarah or Eldon over in Kennehuchi, this kind of thing. Those are great classes. They're not that far to go, considering what you get out of it. But we have a program, it's a self-paced program. It has, we got the book. They can pick the book up right here at the meeting for a very discounted price. When you finish, we'd like to have you turn it back in so somebody else can get it for a discounted price and that kind of thing. You can write in it and everything. But and then there's the videos, the KE0OG, who we featured last night on the Tech Talk, right, Stephen? And we had a lot of great KE0OG has over 500 videos. He's from Colorado, has over 500 videos on there, including 38 of them that go along with the tech class license. So we hand them those now, and that can make a message to me if they call in or write in, and then we get them going with mentors from the club. The point is, this is a 5-club effort, okay? Us, GARS, Stone Mountain Club, Atlanta Radio Club, and the North Fulton QRP Club. We have signed up back there the early morning, if you want to call it that. It's 9 o'clock, not that early. It starts at 10, but we got to have time to set up. So you can take the 9 to the 1:30 shift or the 1 to 5:30 shift to suit your needs. But we do need people to sign up. Each club needs to have about 4 to 6 people sign up. So we need for you to think about that. And there you go. Now, has anybody helped before at Science Expo, that kind of thing? 3 or 4 people, very good, very good, very good, and so on. The other thing I'm up here for is a report on the CW6, so if I can have Scott, Diane, and Colby come up right now, I want to give them a certificate because they are the first 3 in this spring's CW SIG to pass the 5-word-a-minute code test. And they started with the program on January 23rd, and they have stuck with it. We had, in all fairness, we knew this would happen. We had 21 sign up. We're down to about a dozen now who are still hanging in there. Most everybody wishes they could do it, but the time just got away from them and that kind of thing. So we have a couple of things, something here to hand out. And we're going to get a picture for the website. There you go. Here's one for Scott. He's passed the 5-word-a-minute. Diane has passed the 5-word-a-minute, and Colby has passed the 5-word-a-minute. And
Over here, thank you.
okay, we're doing a picture first. Okay, I'm not done. Okay, all right.
One more, hold it, close.
Okay, great. I had in my storeroom had bought this a few years ago, and I said if I ever have a YL that passes the code and makes a contact. And a little birdie told me that last night Diane made a contact with who Dave? Larry in Maryland on CW, and for that I'm presenting to her a Code Warrior Junior. And do you know what 88 means? You know what 88 means? This is serial number 88. They sold over 1,000 of these, and I picked this up. So let me get a picture here. Good luck. You're going to enjoy it. Okay.
Hey, Jim, something real quick on the mentoring and training materials for new hams.
Say it again, say it again.
The league has a new podcast for new and aspiring hams called So Now What?
Yes.
It's published every other week. The second one should come out tomorrow. The first one came out March 7th, so that might be a good resource to add to that list of
Things to do.
curricula guides that you
Yes,
have.
very good. Thank you all very much.
Two quick things to announce. John, in for IHV, our field day chairman, has set up some forms on the table in the back to get you to sign up for activities and volunteers at field day. So please stop by the table and sign up back there. Let's get a lot of participation in field day. These are the GQP gavels that we've won. That was for club high score. And so we had to make a new block for it because we had too many gavels to fit in the old block. But now we've got some empty spots too. So come up here and take a look at it when you get a chance. And let's see. Ian, do you want to say anything about the VE or the cores thing?
I can. Good evening. Okay, for the three people in the room that don't know me, I'm Ian. I'm NV4C, and I lead our volunteer examiner team. A couple of big things that are going on in that realm of the universe. First of all, if you didn't hear through some of the other channels, the FCC, March 1st, I think it was, released a new commission registration website. It's called CORES, C-O-R-E-S, and that's where you have to go to register. It's a two-part system. It's the registration portion of the ULS. Everybody who has an FRN, if you haven't already, needs to go register on that website and put in your information. The FRN, for those who don't know, is the FCC registration number. It's the unique identifier that you get when you get licensed or when you go enroll through CORES, that lets, in lieu of a social security number. It's how the FCC can identify you without using your social security number. I mention this because at some point in 2019, the FCC is going to start requiring all radio license candidates for all licensed services, so not just amateur radio, to be registered with the site and have an FRN in order to sit for an exam. You're going to have to provide your FRN instead of a social security number. If you didn't go to the CORES site and register before March 1st, you need to do so. If you already have an FRN, you need to make sure you go through that site, register, and there's a link that says something to the effect of link an FRN or apply your FRN, and that will tag the registration in CORES to your record in the ULS. It's a multi-step process. It doesn't automatically happen just by virtue of registering. So you have to go in and register, and then you have to go back through. I think you get an email to confirm, and then you have to link your FRN. And another reason why this is important is because you're going to have to use that login that you create via an email when you register with CORES in the future if you want to update your license. You disagree, Mike?
No.
Because I was looking at this.
Shaking my head.
Okay.
It's more complicated than it gets.
Exactly. It is, and it is not a user-friendly site. If you get the NFARL e-news, or if you've seen this month's copy, I did an article that very briefly walks through that process. So, huh? Oh, well, thank you. Question in the back.
So, instead of going to ULS, you're going to go into CORES and do the same stuff that you did in CORES, like change your address or renew your license, etc.
Well, some of it is in CORES, some of it's in the ULS.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, Richard, they've made it more complicated for us.
Are you going to teach classes on this?
No, Bob, I'm not. You're on your own. For the rest of the company, for the rest of the club, I'll help them out. But Bob, you're on your own. Are there any other questions about CORES and ULS and registering?
So how do you get to this CORES site?
The link is on the NFARL website.
Okay.
If you go to the test sessions page, there's a link right there at the top of it. Bill, is it still in that bright green fuchsia or whatever color you used? Okay. So we deliberately made it nice and bright so it stands out and you can find it.
Okay.
That'll take you to the course. You can register there, follow the links. The other big thing that's coming up is the ARRL. Yeah, Fred?
Once you register, is that good forever?
Until they change the system again. It's the government, Fred. You know as well as I do how well that works.
Ian, there was some confusion about the date. For all existing hams, is there like a date we have to do this by?
March 1st.
Why didn't you?
There was.
Got our addresses, why didn't we get a letter?
I don't know.
Why can't they just dump one data system into the other?
Richard, you worked for the government. You answer that question. The other big thing that's going on is the ARRL is finally working towards moving into the 20th century and allowing us to upload test results directly to them. Your NFARL VE team is a pilot team for this process. We used it at the exam session that we had a couple of weeks ago. There were a few hinks and a few, I had to make a couple of phone calls and work through a couple of processes, kinks in the process. But the net result was our candidates from the March VE session had their new call signs and upgrades in 5 days as opposed to in 2 weeks. So that by itself is a marked improvement, so I'm optimistic. I, as the team liaison, will continue working with the league to work out the kinks and try to improve the system as much as they'll listen to me and hopefully the others of us that are helping pilot this system. But it is, I think, much better for all of us because now we can get our new calls or our upgrades in a matter of 2, 3, 4 days instead of having to wait for the mail to send it up there and them to process it by hand and it sit in the mail room and all that good stuff. So those are the updates on the VE side.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for all your work for being here. Really lucky. Okay, activities, Bob Hinsey, K4, VBN is not here. Not here. So, John, would you run through activities for us, please?
Possible phone call.
Okay, Bob's not here. I used to do activities, so I know a little bit about this, but I'll run it down here, especially for our new folks. You'll notice in the back, off to that corner, we have a help desk. It's called the help desk, and it's manned by the North Fulton Amateur Radio Emergency Services. Is that right? And basically, if you went back there, you saw sometimes they're selling used gear, but really it's there for you for the first half hour of the meeting. Young, old, new hams can go up and ask questions. How do I do this? I heard about that. If Ian's around, they'll tell you how to get your FRN worked out. I'm blown away by that myself, but now I know. I think Jim told us about the Science Festival Expo coming up. And Georgia QSO Party will be the topic of our presentation tonight. And I'll go over all the details on that shortly. Ham Jam is, everybody familiar with Ham Jam here? Or is anybody not familiar with Ham Jam? It's a big event that's held in our realm here around the Alpharetta area typically, that our club is one of the main sponsors. And we usually have 3 or 4 or 3 renowned speakers or guests, and we raise money through a raffle. Admission is free, but we raffle off some very nice ham gear prizes, and all the benefits go to youth and science and technology for youth and upcoming hams. So that's in, Mac McCormick has agreed to be our chair this year. We're very thankful for that. The island's 25th anniversary I know is active now. Terry has made some posts. You got a minute, Terry, if you want it.
It's on the website. Everybody needs to jump on an island.
Okay. And this is the 3rd Tuesday. We have the club meeting. The 2nd Tuesday is the NFARES meetings, and that's held at the church.
Fellowship Bible Church.
Fellowship Bible Church on Highway 92 in Roswell. And Hungry Hams every Wednesday. That'll be tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. at Slopes Barbecue on Highway 92, approaching Highway 9 if you're heading east. And there's usually about 15 to 30, depending on how the weather is or everybody's mood. And that's a great place to sit around and learn over the dinner table about ham radio. And the Royal Order of the Old Geezers, Neil Foster, N4FN, kind of coordinates that. Reveille Cafe at the intersection of Sandy Plains and Chaliford Road, 9 a.m. on Saturday. Don't be late because the tables fill up. And we have nets. Many of you were logged into the TechNet on Monday night. If you didn't, you missed a lot. It starts at 8:30, and it's on the 14547 repeater. It's also linked into, I think, the 06 and the 440. Just the 440 now. Okay. I got used to having the 06 when we didn't have the other. And we also have a chat room, the Discord chat room. So while the net's going on, people are on RF, talking on the repeater about technical subjects, Q&A, and announcements, learn about ham radio. And in addition, there's a chat room where people on the internet are locally chatting and passing information and pictures and links to the topics we're discussing. And also, Echolink is checking in. So we have people from Canada, Michigan, everywhere, Australia, North Korea. It's amazing. And then the YLs are on Thursday night, and I listened to that last Thursday night. It was very interesting. And they're coming from all over. I've heard Australia and other young ladies, Japan, and that's a net for the YLs, young ladies, to exchange ham information and talk about whatever they want. Sunday night is the North Fulton Aries net on the 14706 machine. And then if you want to test out your 10-meter radio and your voice privileges as a technician, you can get on the 10-meter net Sunday at 3:30 p.m., 28.410, and it's the North Georgia chapter of 1010 International. And one last thing, I noticed we had so many new folks here, newly licensed, new to the meeting, and you probably have a lot of questions to ask. I hope we answer some tonight. Maybe this presentation will tell you about contesting. We have a library here, and there's a checkout sheet. Bill, you can maybe show them that book. There's ham radio handbooks. There's one there about just setting up your first station, antenna books. There's catalogs, magazines. We encourage you. It's no problem. Go up there, sign your name, say I'm taking the handbook, and keep it for a month or two, and get up to speed and stuff. And then bring it back when you want. It's no pressure.
Take one, bring back two.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, John. You did that way better than I would have, didn't he?
Oh, yes.
Thank you, John. All right, apparel, as I said, I'll talk about it later because there's two people that have ordered a apparel item back in November that we're still not able to place the order because we got a minimum of 6 items. So made a plea for it, I think, last month and I think in January as well, but there's no activity in apparel items. So anybody got any suggestions? Are we not offering what you want? Has everybody already got everything they want? What can we do to help with apparel?
Change colors.
I get everybody to have to get new stuff, wouldn't it?
Have Ian change call signs again, so he has to get a new shirt.
There's one order right there.
And a new badge, a new jacket.
We got t-shirts.
So we don't have t-shirts yet. The items are what you're looking at there, except the button-down shirt you don't see, and then 2 different types of jackets. So 2 types of shirts, 2 types of jackets. And I keep thinking I'm going to be able to add just a patch that looks like the embroidered part here that you could sew onto whatever you wanted to, and a t-shirt. So any other suggestions? I mean, if we added those, would it help and get some more activity in the apparel market?
Hats.
Baseball caps.
Hats? Okay.
Stickers.
And that's not marked, in case anybody's wondering.
No, that's not marked. Okay. All right, so please, let's go to the mark and see if we can get, one of them was John Clute ordered a jacket back in November, and I think it's going to be, we don't get this done, it's going to be warm before he gets his jacket. Okay, so as usual, Lori and I dragged this suitcase in, and we're not planning on staying overnight. This is, apparel items have been ordered in the past, have still not been picked up. So if you think you ordered something and you didn't get it, we might well have it here.